this is a way you just insert the data, right? But
Mhm.
in a future scenario, it can be a requirement that or not a requirement, we will say. In future it can be, right, you have 200 records, and in between 200 records your 199 records are okay, only one record is not okay, mean that we have some validation for that one record. So what will happen if you try to insert your data with this list, right? What we will do,
Mhm.
we will just collect all the data in the list, and then we will just insert that list, right?
Mhm.
But when we, for example, if I say, let me say, I have a list of account, uh, list of account I have, okay, and I say I have 200 records in this list.
Mhm.
And now if I perform insert operation, insert ACC, if I say my name of a list is ACC, okay, if I perform this now, and if we have one record that is not of correct type, means some problem is there, means we have some validation for that record, so it will just roll back all the records. It will not insert that 199 records also. To overcome
Mhm.
with that problem, what we use database save result classes. So what they classes do, they check if we have, means they do partially DML operation. Partially means the records which are okay, they will insert to the system, and the records which are not, means we have some error on that records, it will throw an error for those records. Understood?
Mhm. Right. Yep.
Okay. So today let me open that database classes, because to write that code again and again it takes lots of time. Database classes. Okay. So this is a database classes in Salesforce. Okay, let me open. So this is your Apex guide where it listed all the data classes.
Mhm.
Okay. And if I say, so before that I will give you the save result in Salesforce. So basically let me copy this line of code and let me explain you what we are doing here. Let me create a new class, Apex demo for save result. Demo was save result. Okay. So basically you understand now, means overview why we are using database.save classes.
Yeah.
See, for example, I want to create a list of account. For example, my scenario will be create a list of account. Okay. When I will create this list of account, I will add the data in the list.
Mhm.
Okay. So how I will be doing this? ACC. What I will do? I will create a list of account ACC equals to new list of account. Okay.
Mhm.
And if I want to insert data, I will do a account ACC dot new account. Okay. And now I want to assign the data in it variables. So I will write name equals to done. Okay. And
Mhm.
I will add this item to the list. How I will adding this item? List. Sorry. we have this ACC listener, ACC list, ACC list dot add, then we will write ACC. Like this way we are adding the elements, right, for the each account. Now if I want to insert like this second account, I will insert. So how will be adding account ACC 1 equals to new, then I will say account, okay, and I will just add this ACC only. I will not assign any value on this variable. ACC list dot add ACC 1, okay.
Yeah.
And let me copy this line of code. I will explain you this code after some time. Control X, notepad. See, so what basic idea? We just insert the record of the account, and we will create a method for it. Public static void. Sorry, I will say account string account insert. Okay, insert. So I have created a method where I will say insert this record. Shift tab, and I will say okay. Insert. What I will insert? This ACC list. Any doubt till here, or it's clear?
It's clear. Yes, thanks.
Okay. So see if I say why it is giving public demo apex class. It is not my class. Now let me close this class for now. Don't save. No. So okay. Let me save this class. Okay, return type is missing. Return. Okay. See what will happen. Okay. And let me run this class. We have this method copy dot this class. See, so what we are trying to do, we are just inserting two accounts. One is account name and one account without any data.
Yeah.
Because we are not assigning any variables to it. Okay. So what we are going to do, let me execute highlighted. See, what is saying that insert fail, required field missing. Okay.
Yep.
It means, but in one of, if I save this, if I comment this line, if I comment this line of code, okay, if I comment this line of code and execute highlighted, say recorded, inserted, right? Because we have commented that line of code, that this line of code I have commented because we are not assigning any value. We have required field first name and last name for the account, right? And we are not assigning that values to this account variable. So it is giving that field will try to fill your required field. Okay. If I go to the account object, and come here, okay, see Dan is there, right? Hello. So my basic means my basic idea is when you are trying to use when you are trying to insert two accounts, one in which in one error we don't have, one account we don't have any error, it is perfectly fine, we can insert this record, right? And in this account we have error that we are missing the required field. But when we are using that insert a list, so what it doing, it is a rolling back, it is not inserting this account also, right? Hello. Hello.
Sorry, can you repeat this again, Dan? Like when you say that Dan one, insert account list.
So basically I have two accounts. See, this is my first account I want to insert, and this is my second account.
Yeah.
In the list I'm adding both account, this account also I'm adding, and this account also I'm adding. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And on this account I am specifying the required variable name, that my first name should be, my name should be there on the while creating a record. Okay. But when we are coming to the second account, we are saying that we don't want, means I'm not putting the required field here. Okay. So when I'm inserting this list, right, account list, when I'm inserting, so I'm not in my, this record is also not inserting, I'm not able to insert this record also, because we are adding all the item in a list. Okay. See, if I make it, let me run this again and save. Okay. And if I run this line of code again, so this account will not be created.
Yeah.
See, it is saying the required, it is giving an error. If I go to the my here also, see, account is not created.
Right. Okay.
So to overcome with this problem, what we have our database, this class database dot save result.
Right.
Okay. So basically we will use this concept to overcome with that partial insertion, means the record which are okay, that insert those record, otherwise we will do a partial insertion. Partial means understanding that the record which are perfect, they will be inserted to the system, and the records which are not, means some fields are missing there, we will get an error.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me explain you. Okay, control Z. If I go to this line of code and let me comment this. So see what happens. Let me go. See. So here what we are doing, we are having the account array, means the list of account. Okay.
Accounts. Yeah. Okay.
So now what I am doing, I'm on a new account, I'm adding my name. Name equals to account one. In second account, I'm not adding any name. I'm not giving the parameter inside this, not name, something I'm not giving.
Yep.
Okay. Same thing this way. This code of line we are writing here. Okay.
You got it. Yep.
So now we have this parameter. When we see, this is it is a database class. Okay.
Right.
Database class, we have save result, where all the result when we are inserting will come to this part.
Right.
Okay. Now this, what ACCTS is, your account list, which I want to insert. So previously what we used to do, used to do like this: insert ACC, like this, we account list, right? Basically what we are doing, basically we used to do this part: insert ACC AC list. Okay. But from now what we will doing, we will just passing the list here.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a very important parameter. When we are defining as false, so it will do the partial. It will do the partial. Partial means the record which are okay, it will insert, otherwise it will not insert. If it is true, so it will work like a list only.
Right.
Okay, so let me show this in this also. We have documentation. If you see, let me just give me one. Database dot insert control F insert. See, that insert. Let me show you that value. See, just give me 1 minute. Where this insert? Let me copy this. So basically, we are means if you want to see the syntax, so what we can do? See. So we will have in the parameter. See, this I want to understand, make you understand that what I want to say. So see, database method is set. This is see, when insert is supported, rollback means when you make it true, right? When you make it true, so it will do a partial one. Means sorry, it will just make your list inserted, insert or not inserted.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you make false, it will like partial insertion. Okay, we are just passing a two parameter. If I say what we are passing here, list of s object and boolean value. Boolean value will be a true and false. Okay, and let me run this line of code. If I say okay, this is my line of code, and I will not use, okay, it is commented already. Let me save. Okay, and if I debug it, execute highlighted. Let's see what happened. Where's my class? Database dot class. See, if you see, my account one is created, right? And that second account we don't have provided it name, right? That is not created. Means just we have provided two accounts here, na? If you see, we have provided two accounts. One is account name one, and we don't have in the second account. We don't have anything. Okay.
So then one question which I had is like, I understand you're creating an account there, but if you go into that particular account, and let's say that we have any other required field, how does it create this account? Does it override those rules? Like if you go back in, so you created two accounts here, right?
Account.
Now, yeah, when you go into that particular account, click on the account.
Yes.
And if you go into edit, let's say that there are some more required fields on this one. You need to fill in those required fields as well, right? When you're doing this list.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Because you don't have any required fields, it's allowing you to create this account, but just in case, if you have a lot of required fields, you need to input all those required fields, otherwise it throw an error.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So basically, I don't have any required field other than name. So it is allowing me to insert the record. If you have some validation or you have some other required field, so you have to put at the time of insertion. If I show you here, you have to put all the field. I have put a name only, right? You have to put phone number, email ID. For example, you say when you are creating an account, you have to, your email ID should be mandatory. That time you have to provide your email ID also.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But how does it work when you have formula fields? For example, let's say that. Okay, let's not make it complex here.
Yeah,
I
no,
did
no, go ahead, go ahead. To means go ahead. If you any doubt, now just go ahead.
So let's say that we have a formula field,
Hmm.
and you know how we got formula fields, dependent formula fields in the objects, right? And
Hmm.
let's say that we put in this particular num values. No, that's not a valid question because formula fields obviously become
Because
blank.
formula field are basically means are evaluated on the basis of that old means on the basis of value which you have storing on the field, right?
Yeah.
So it will automatically get value when you for example, if I say I have a formula field that says name, so I will
Mhm.
just use this name right on that formula field. You
Right.
can't you can't you can't means you can't add value on the formula field.
Yeah,
Simple.
yeah. No, that's correct. That's not a valid question. That's fine. Cool. Thanks.
Okay, so
That was-
now see, basically you understand the concept of true and false, right? If I
Mm.
make it true now, see, if you see my log, see, it is saying successful inserted account ID is this, the following error occurred in the second account, I got an error, right? Required field
Yeah.
missing.
Yeah.
Understood? And if I make
Yeah.
it true now, if I make it true, if I make it true and try to insert now account, so it will not insert this account now because we are making true. And if make it true, it works like that, like a list only, rolling back all the records if it are okay or not.
Right. Okay.
Okay, if I debug this, execute highlighted, see,
Mhm.
understood?
Yeah.
So basically we have this method. For example, if you want to perform same thing for update, what you will do? Update.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, for example, I want to update ID. I don't have an ID, right?
Mhm.
Let me say for update false. If I say comma id equals to my id of account is, if I go to this, my account id is this. Okay, copy and paste, and I want my this account should be updated.
Mhm.
Okay, save
Yeah.
it, and I will go here, execute highlighted. Okay, if I
Yeah.
go to a debug log, see success up. If I see, if I go to my this account and refresh it, my name should be updated.
Mhm.
See, account 112 update.
Yeah. Cool.
So basically it is the same process, only the difference is that you, if you want to perform update, you will do update. If you want to perform insert, you will perform insert. If you want to perform delete, so how you will doing it? Delete it, delete, control S. Okay,
Mhm.
we have illegal, okay, delete for okay, it is illegal from list to list, so we can use delete also. For delete, you will have your delete detail. Okay,
Yeah.
now what we talking so you understanding now why we are using database classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Dan, I do have another doubt which just popped into my mind. That let's say that we have this name, which is the account name, and you're inputting all these details, right?
Hmm.
Now, let's say that if I enable field history tracking on this particular field called as name, and you're changing from Dan 1 to 3, Dan update and everything, right? So
Hmm.
obviously, there will be something which will be triggered. So in real time, what happens is there will be something which triggers this particular class, and it will go and update these accounts, right? Now in field tracking, when you put a report, how does it show? Like, does it show that under my name, or how does it really show the like last modified by my name?
See, uh, for example, if this line of code is executed by, it means whenever the code run, it check with the current
Okay.
user who have current logged in user. For
Yeah.
example, if I am the current logged in user, so it will
Mm.
show last modified by the my name. If I go to the detail page, just go see. If I
Right.
if I logged in with your if you have logged in with some different user, then
Mm.
I run this line of code, so it will show his name. So
Right.
so basically, when we are just whenever this code run, it takes the current logged in user ID.
Mm.
Okay.
And normally, how do I know? For example, it's a very general question that
Mm-hmm.
there's a piece of code which is running in the background and that is updating. Like, let's take the example of update, right? You're running this database update class, and it's updating the name of the person from A to B or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, how do I know that is it somebody like now? If I go into the last modifier, it says your name, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how do I know if it is like a process builder or Apex class or somebody has manually changed? What is the mechanism in the backend which will tell me like, okay, Apex class has run or this particular method has been called and that's the reason. So what I'm trying to understand is, do you have some kind of audit which tells you of each and every action, or we don't can really track that?
Yeah, basically we have audit trail, means basically whenever some changes are made on the class or something are done, so we have that audit trail. If I go here, where's my, see basically now what the process goes on, let me show you. See, we have audit trail. If you click on it
Mhm.
now, if a major change in your org is going and all the changes are showing here, see, changes from demo save result apex class, where I have changed till now, see. So these are the changes.
Mhm.
Okay. And if you want to track how to, means what was your first value or what now the value have changed, who have changed it now.
Mhm.
So basically you can enable that history tracking. For example, if I say my account status was in the progress, right? After some time the status changed to completed. So
Mhm.
it will show when the status was transferred from incomplete to in progress to complete. So it will show on the history tracking. And basically, if for example, basically we if we have any log error, right, it is not key every time our code run perfectly, we can get some error in the code, right? Somewhere
Mhm.
we can get an error, right? So basically what we do, we create a log object, custom log object, where we do the error handling. For example, for time being I'm writing this code, right? This line of
Mhm.
code I'm writing, I'm not doing any error handling, right? The error is showing on my screen here. But for the end user we will not do like this, because if the error is coming, we will just handle that error and save it to a database. So
Okay.
for that, what we do, we use error handling. That error handling comes the try and catch. If I if I will cover that topic after some time, but yeah, let me show you that part also. If I say try, okay, try, and let me catch. It is catch exception ex. See, now if I run my this code now, you will not get it on the you will not get error on the screen. If I
Right.
say ex dot get message, get line number plus get get dot message. save. See, okay, it get message or okay, it's like a get message. Give me a minute. Get message, and my variable name is ex dot control s. See, now what I have done, I have done the error handling, right?
Mhm.
If I run this line of code again, so you will not get an error on your screen now. See, the log is created, right? The code is run perfectly, but we are getting error on your code. So see, if you say it is saying success, right? It is not giving
Mhm.
me the error. So if I
Mhm.
open this log, the code is going the it is showing why it is showing this log. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I've saved this line of code. Try catch. Okay, okay, because this line of code is also there. Let me. Okay, control. Z true. True. Control s. Because we are using false statement, right? False it do
Mhm.
partially, but I want to check for. Let me highlight this and debug only. See, update failed. It is
Yeah.
showing update is failed, which where I update is failed. Line number 26.
Mhm.
Update failed. First exception. What is my exception? It is saying missing argument.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, we will doing the error handling with the try catch block, because means we will not want to block our code, right? If the user want to go on the next page, if the error show on the screen, so it will not able to go on the next page. So basically, we will just do the error handling.
Cool. Yeah.
All good.
Okay. Yeah.
So this means basically we have covered that about database classes, insertion, deletion, and how we just why we are not putting the query in the loop, and how we are overcoming from the looping the data, right? That all part we have done means SQL queries, SOSL. So you have any queries related to this topic, you can ask to me. Okay,
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
okay. So basically now I have this we have this keyword, right? And we have this keyword. Okay, we have this keyword. How this keyword works, right? This keyword refers to the instance of the current variable, means apex. For example, when this class will when this class will call, that time we will we will get all the variables of this class, right? Whenever this class is called,
Mhm.
to refer the current variable of this class, we will use this keyword. For example, if I show demo, okay, if I say demo, okay, if I say mm, public string date name, name equals to public string, okay, okay. So basically we have created two variables, and I want this variable's value should be set when this class will load it. Okay, so how I will be doing that? String name value, comma, string I will say location. Oh, sorry, I've created this already. Okay, now I want to set the data in these variables. Okay, so how I will be doing that? This dot name. Okay, this dot name equals to name value, and that this value from where we are passing when we will call our class. Okay, this dot location equals to location. Well, let me put location value. Value. Let me put this location value that is giving missing this. Okay, and let me print this value. System dot debug name is plus name system dot debug location is plus we have location. So see what is the use of this keyword. I have saved this class. Okay, why it is variable does not exist, why it is saying variable does not exist. Public. Okay, we have to make it public static. Okay, static. And when you want to use that variable, so you have to make a static because we are using those variable in the static method. Okay, let me save it. Field cannot be referenced to non-static. Public static. Okay, got it. So we are using this variable in the Apex classes. Let me copy this, Control X. Let me print here. See, let me save. See, now I want to pass this value. For example, there be a scenario, right? I want to pass the value at the runtime. Runtime means that you are not means that you don't know what value will be coming on the runtime. So we will use this keyword. And how you are passing the values? Debug. This is my class name. We are working on this class only. Okay, we are working on this class. Okay, let me work on this class only. Okay, so what we will do, apex dml ap equals to new. And now if you see, we have two parameter. Have you talked about constructor, right? Constructor will have a same name with the class name, right? And we have to pass two values here. One is string value, second also a string value. So how I will be passing the value here? I will say, okay, Dan is my name and location is Delhi. Okay, if I save it and if I run it, let's see what happened. Method is not visible. Okay, method is not visible because it is not public. We have to make it public. Okay, if I run this and debug only, see, Dan and Delhi, right? And if I want to see, this is a runtime, we are not passing, means we are not, means we don't we have not described this value on the apex classes. What we are doing, we are passing at a runtime.
Mhm.
For example, I will say Arjun. Now if I run this, so your value will not be Dan, it will be Arjun and Delhi.
Yeah.
So this is a, if you say, see, Arjun and Delhi. So what it means, it is referring to the current instance of the class.
Mhm.
Whenever this class is invoking, it is assigning those values to this variable. And I
Yeah.
told you that constructor is a first part. When it loads, means whenever your class load, it is a first method which loads.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? You, because from tomorrow I was taking with the triggers, means I was thinking that I will start with triggers, and if you have any doubt, we can take it.
No, all good then. It's pretty much.
Okay.
It's see, so it's more like me going back and revisiting the recordings and
Mm,
start looking in and getting used to the terminology, right? So that's something which obviously I need to do and do it. Like, what are the different data types, like enum, all these things. So that's
mm,
something that I need to go back and start looking at it just theoretically,
mm.
uh, see how good they are. But until now, I think I'm pretty happy with whatever has been covered.
Okay. So yeah, fine. Means see, when I means you have a means you got a basic understanding that how class run, because see, one go no one can become a champion. It's
Hmm.
so when you will doing simple thing na, when if you try to write this only a method name, it will give you a little confidence. Yeah, I'm able to write a method name just without seeing this. Just write only a public static string demo class and try to write something on this, write something on this code, okay, in this method
Mhm.
write something and try to run this method. And then if you able to means run this method, then query the record, means step by step just go through, and you will get a little confidence and you will able to achieve milestone after time.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
And
So
also,
mm,
yeah, I'm also
yeah, go
interested
ahead.
to get this Visual Studio installed and do it, like get the
See,
project and everything.
okay, so I have a means I have a VS code also. I was I was thinking I will cover VS Code after covering this trigger and all, and
Yeah.
that after when we are taking that LWC partner, that time I
Mm.
will just means create a class there only. I will create a LWC there only. It becomes a very easy to understand you, because if I go to the VS Code, na, you will just focus on the VS Code, how it is working, how it is not working. I don't want that thing. But yeah, once this basic part is clear, then trigger, schedulable class, that all part is clear, then we are going all this logic written in the VS Code only. I will show you how to write this all logic in the VS Code.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
Okay. So for today I can means let me give you the little bit, because from tomorrow I will be starting the triggers. So let me understand you what are triggers in the Salesforce. So basic the triggers are the automation, we can say automation tool, or we can say or it's a automation way, it is an automation way to work, or we can say it is used to deal with the data with the Salesforce Apex.
Mhm.
Okay. And basically triggers run in the context variables. Context variable, I want to say that as you know, we have Salesforce record, right? So
Mhm.
when we can insert also, we can update also, we can delete also, right? So and with the context variable, if you say we can write a trigger on after insert. If I say we have, for example, let me give you the scenario so that let me not go to the trigger part. So see why you have to write trigger. If I say I want, if a contact is inserted, I want to update account.
Mhm.
So that how you are going to do it. So you will use your trigger here, because in with some object, after inserting of some object, you want to update or you want to perform some DML operation as some other object, right? So this is a automation, means with the automation you have to do this. You can't write an Apex class or how we are going to run that Apex class, because it should be doing automatically, right? Once the record is created, you will just update the value. So for that purpose, the trigger comes in the picture. When you are doing it, automatically should populate the value after the save or after the delete or after the insert. That you have to go with the trigger. And triggers basically used for automation, for the automation purpose. And if you want to call an external system, for example, if I want that after the inserting of record, I want to send those record to some external system, right? So what you will do, you will just call your Apex call out. How you are doing that? Yeah, this recording inserted, that trigger will notify you, yeah, this recording inserted, and you will notify to the external system by sending the data.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this is a basic concept we have talked about. Means I will just cover each and every part tomorrow. Trigger. Um, Today it is almost, I will say, completed. Let me give you. Let me let me let me try something little different. See, can you tell me the logic how we are printing? Let me say I want to print table. How you are printing the tables?
How am I printing the?
Because we know now how to write the Apex class, how we means how the how the method calling is done, how we just define the variables in the Apex class. This part we know now.
Mhm.
So I want to just write a method which will print value. For example, I pass 2 here, so it will print a 2 table. If I say 10, it will print a 10 table. For means I will pass the dynamic value from the here, from the here I will pass 2, it will print 2 table. I will, if I pass 5, it will print 5 table. So what will your logic for it?
You might need to write this one. So similarly, you need to first define what is it you want to write it.
Hmm.
So first you need to write the method, maybe.
Right, yeah, go ahead. Means it will just increase your confidence also with
Yeah. So first
public.
write the method,
Hmm.
um, and in the method, similarly put a number if you want to pass out a number. So what you're saying is, give a value and it should be printed in it, right?
Yeah, if I say if I pass 2 here, so it will print 2 table.
Right.
Hmm.
Uh, public static string table. In the method, you might need to.
I will pass integer, for example. I will say what integer I will pass integer, because it will be a not a string type, right? It will be an integer only 2, 3.
Yeah.
Hmm. Then
Then maybe do a for loop inside.
okay, let me say for integer
Which, yeah.
integer.
We wrote the for loop in a different way, right? Like you know how we wrote that for.
That for each loop.
Yeah.
Okay. So for see, for that means sometime, because we don't have indexing for that loop, right? We are just printing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for that we have to just we have to just make a list here. I will say 10. If I say okay, it will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I will get
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from that list. Then I will iterate like this. For example, I will say list. I will say 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6, comma 7, 8. Because we don't have a list for up now, right? We have to
Okay.
create a list till 10. Then we will iterate here like a for each loop. And then I have to, how I will iterate for integer 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 I colon this list of number.
Right.
Understood?
Yeah.
This list of number I will write. So, but I don't want to create a list here and that then reassign that value. Okay,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do this, so I'm avoiding for now. Okay,
Yeah.
because we in the Salesforce we just get a data that we use for each loop, because we don't have any data, just I'm going with this loop.
Yeah.
Okay, then what we will do, or equals to 10, let's say I I plus plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so why we are doing this? Because we want to iterate till 10, 1 to 10, and we have
Yeah.
make from equals to 10 till 10 it will go.
Mhm.
Now I want system dot debug print print sorry, let me say print. Okay,
Mhm.
plus now I will get a number from here, right?
Yeah.
Number
Dot.
number into what I have, 1, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I will not put 1 here, I will put I here.
I.
Okay, so
I.
now number will be 2, 2 1 ja 2, then again loop will come, then it will be 2, right?
Yeah.
It will be 2, but the value will be 2, 2 2 ja 4.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah.
Let me run this, where it is saying the and variable doesn't ask in num. Why? Let me give integer num. String should have a bot. But okay. Return return this must have a body. Where it is saying that, where it is line number 18. Let me comment all this code for now. It is commented and we have this method covered. Num integer number intg. Let why it is not integer I equals to 0, integer I equals 4, I is greater than 0. System.debug. Let me check my variable does not have number. Why does take number? Let me copy this method somewhere else. Control tag. I think we're missing something. Let me come here. Why it's giving error? Table. No, must return it. We have written this also. Why it is saying public static string for integer I equals to 0. System.debug. Okay. Num is not defined. This num is not defined. Why? Let me save this. And the integer public static line number 5. Public static table name public static string void name. Return must be called from method. Why it is saying the return call from method? Okay. So let me say void make this say method have a master body. Okay. System.debug system.debug methods of have body. We have this body. We are using something. Let me do one thing. If I say copy this and print here, let me see. Let me say num string integer I equals to 1 and I equals greater than 10, I is plus 1. If I say integer num equals to 2, if num dot copy dot v do this, shift tab, and let me run this. Okay, execute. It is printing. Let me check. Yeah, 2 1 2 2 4 2 6. Yeah, it is printing, right? We have to check in a method that we are missing something. Means our logic is correct, but yeah, something we are missing on a method. Let me check that part also. Where this method is here. It is saying that body is not defining public. Okay. Just give me what. So basically, we are missing something. We understand now why we are doing things. We can just call this, means just create a method and pass the value.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you understand the logic. Basic logic is this only. We have to
Okay.
pass the method on, means just we will just pass the value here, and we will just it will be passing here only,
Yeah.
and it
Good.
will print a value just like this. If you go there, see like this, we will pass this value from the here, means I will just call a method and pass this value number 2, and it will call this method.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're not able to do it, I will just show you tomorrow, means something we are missing on the body part na. Okay,
Yeah. No worries.
understood, means how we are going with the loop, or how we means building the logic.